y'all come on in. All right, y'all. I know it's early. Man. But the perps woke me up. So, plus I always get up early anyway. This video right here is called Disclaimer for Targeted Individuals. I just want to do this video real quick just to get it out the way. Let me see. I'm gonna wait and see if I can get like maybe 5 people in there, then I'll start. This is gonna be a short live. It's not gonna be long. It's not gonna be long. Really don't really expect people to be up right now. If anybody popping in, let me know. Put a thumbs up if you can hear me. Also like the video. Of course, I don't like to start the day off with gang stalking, but hey, it is what it is, man. You know, they start the day off with gang stalking. So when I walk outside, they're gonna be on. They're gonna be on my mom. They're gonna be on my stick. So we about 2 more minutes. I'm gonna let this video is short anyway. It's only 5 minutes. It's only a 5-minute video. I just want to make sure that people can hear me and hear the video. Grand Rising. What's going on? Can you hear me? Am I clear to you? I'm not gonna do too much talking. I'm not gonna be running my mouth. I know it's early. I know we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a no there? This video will be up if they don't take it down, you know what I mean? But it will be up. You can catch okay, cool. They can catch the rerun when all the other TIs wake up. But this guy right here, man, is definitely, obviously he must be dead because he don't post no more. James Harkin. James Harkin. He has to be dead. Or whatever, whatever they do to us. So let me go ahead and drop it. That's 5 minutes. Go ahead and drop it. I just want y'all to just pay attention to what he's saying. And this is the reason why I had dropped that other live about the TI community.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, YouTube. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, YouTube. If you're a targeted individual and you're being gang stalked, don't get on these YouTube channels and these Facebook groups and think that you can build relationships and that you can trust these people, because you can't. Because 90% of them are shills. They are paid. And that you can trust these people, because you can't. Because 90% of them are shills. They are paid. They are disinformation. They have cut a deal. They talk a bunch of crazy nonsense, and anyone that talks about organized stalking or gang stalking gets drowned out immediately, flooded. Anytime I post in the Facebook group about gang stalking, organized stalking, some real good information, a video, whatever, an article, boom, there's 6 different posts that fly right up to drown me out. Why is that? These people are paid, they're shills, to divert the attention away from organized stalking. They don't want to get the word out about organized stalking. They don't. And they've made a deal. So remember that. I've been very trusting with all my personal info. I put my soul on the line. Don't make the same mistakes that I did. Be very cautious, because the goal of this targeted individual program is to leave you broke, homeless, carrying nothing but a knapsack on your back. Be very cautious, because the goal of this targeted individual program is to leave you broke, homeless, carrying nothing but a knapsack on your back.
Now, just for the record, y'all, if you talk to any target out there, and if they don't agree with what he just said, they are a shield, a perp, or they probably don't even know anything about the program.
Okay? Because the goal of this targeted individual program is to leave you broke, homeless, carrying nothing but a knapsack on your back. Okay? They want your assets. They want body parts. They want everything about you. They want your money. They are waiting to encroach on any personal relationship that you have. Period. On any personal relationship. Your money. They are waiting to encroach on any personal relationship that you have.
And that's why I often say it's pretty much a wrap as far as trying to build a relationship, like, as far as men with women and women with men. They're going to compromise it. You know what I'm saying? How I see it, male and females should get together as TIs. If you're a TI female, you need to be with a male TI, and vice versa. That's how I see it, because you're not going to be able to get nobody else. You know what I mean? You're not. That's just the way it is. So your best bet, if you want to be in a relationship, you will have to find a TI. You will have to find somebody that's going through the same exact crap that you're going through. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's just going to be a perp. They're going to gaslight you all day, and that's it. That person's going to be getting paid.
Period. So think twice before you see a targeted individual that's, oh yeah, blah, 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 loving life. No. The goal is to keep you isolated from other targeted individuals. And the goal is to keep you isolated from other targeted individuals. And PAX is a bullshit organization. Freedom of SCHS, bullshit organization. Filth. Scum. They're slow killers. Maybe they were targeted individuals at one time.
And like I said before in my last previous video, they will compromise people. They will convert people over. Some clown left a comment on my video talking about TIs can be converted. That right there was a shield talking. That was just a shield talking, or a bottle of perp or something.
But they're not doing anything to help targeted individuals. If they were trying to help targeted individuals, there would be a commune right now, or a campground, or a hostel where you could work or stay, and you could get back up on your feet. But that doesn't exist.
Mm-mm.
And you know why it doesn't exist? Because they don't want it to.
You think they want you on your feet? The whole name of the program is to knock you off your feet, break you down to submission. Either you're going to join us, or we're going to target you until the day you die.
They want us to suffer. They want
EC Production, tune into the live, man. EC Production texting me, tune into the live.
us to keep us isolated from each other. And I can say this, okay? Because I've talked to people that have gone to these organizations and gotten shit on. My friend Lindsay, for as a matter of fact, she contacted.
Don't be going to these organizations, y'all. All that stuff they got on Facebook, that's crap.
Okay? Because I've talked to people that have gone to these organizations and gotten shit on. My friend Lindsay, for as a matter of fact, she contacted Freedom of FCHS, told them her story. They met up with her at a library and just completely were smug. It was a complete setup to basically get her to divulge all her personal info, share her story, and then just shit on her. They didn't help her one bit. She left the library that she met him at. And so I haven't contacted that organization. And my good friend Chuck Langenberg, God bless your soul, man. Rest in peace. He was taken out for speaking a lot of this truth, in my opinion. And don't trust in these organizations. Don't trust in any of these so-called groups that help targeted individuals, because if there were one, I would know about it. I've driven my car from the very East Coast, from Maine, down south, back up to Michigan, out to Oregon, back to Michigan, to New York, back to Oregon, to Washington, to Texas. I've been all over the country the past year, the past 9.5 months that I've experienced this, trying to meet other TIs. And you know what? They were all shills. All of them. Trying to meet other TIs. And you know what? They were all shills. All of them. Trying to meet other TIs. And you know what? They were all shills. All of them.
And think about it. Why do you think they have us so segregated and TIs from different states? You know, we're all over. We're scattered abroad. And the whole plan is to not allow us to come together. And then when you come together, because I'm going to keep it real with you, the ones I came together with and I met in person, I didn't meet that many, but I met a handful. And I don't know what's wrong with them. You see what I'm saying? They must have got confronted by the men in black. You know what I mean? Because they don't contact DB. I don't get no phone calls, but we supposed to be coming together though. How we gonna come together? I don't even hear from you. A TI community, right? How we gonna have a community and we're not communing together? You see what I'm saying? So obviously the ones that I did meet, they must got approached by the men in black or something. Because that's what they doing these days. These TIs out here is taking these deals or something, you know, to perp you, I guess, to get their targeting diminished. Oh yeah, this is a serious game, player. You best believe it.
Because they're selfish. They would rather get their targeting to stop, protect their assets and their family, than to do the right thing and not sell their soul to the fucking devil. God forgive me for cussing. I hope this helped. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be hostile or angry, but I just want to make that clear. Be very careful who you trust. Very clear. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be hostile or angry, but I just want to make that clear. Be very careful who you trust. Very careful.
So there you have it, y'all. And this lady right here, the Quita Carver. Let me click her. Her. Beautiful
Hello,
young,
YouTube. It's
beautiful
Sacrificial.
young
I
lady.
hope everyone is doing well. I
don't know what happened to her, but if y'all get a chance, go check her out. Beautiful young lady. She probably dead now. This is her channel. Mystery of Iniquity. You know, she got real good heavy information, man. And they beat her down too. And she's a registered nurse and can't even get a job. Never did a day in prison. Never did a day in jail. And a registered nurse can't get a job in America. So this don't have nothing to do with no background. This don't have nothing to do with what you done did in the past, whatever. This is a bloodline thing. And she's very intelligent too, man. You know what I'm saying? She's very intelligent. Her latest videos, because she's gone. She don't make no more videos. But her latest videos, she was really, really breaking it down, man. I mean, and as far as like scriptural wise, like we was definitely eye to eye on a lot of stuff that she was talking about. So I'm not gonna keep. If y'all want to hear 10 minutes of her right now, just put a 100 in the comment section right now and let me know. I'll keep going if y'all want to stay tuned. Just let me know. I know it's early. I know y'all got coal in your eyes. You know what I mean? You're damn right they want us all dead. I appreciate everybody popping up though. We got like 20 people so far. Hit the like button though. Y'all got to get them likes up, man. You know what I'm saying? Get the likes up, man. I'll let the video play if y'all want to hear it. Get the likes up for me. Can we get them likes up, man? Cause you know we keep going. I keep going.
He posted some videos. I hope you all had a chance to take a look at
We got to get them likes up though, so it can hit the algorithm.
them. I am going to just go over some.
So we up now.
I just wanted to talk to you about the targeting again. I'm sharing a lot of my experiences and the things that I'm going through right now. Right now, it's more like an attack on energy, leaving you depleted, exhausted, like spiritual. What do they call it? Refer to this.
Y'all can hear it, right? Y'all can hear it, right?
Like people that are out to steal your blessings. Destiny destroyers or something like that, where you have to pray against people that want to steal and consume your gifts.
And this video was 4 years ago.
They want to take your spiritual blessings, but we know that they won't work in the hands of the wicked. They won't work in the hands of those who have attended to take them away for their own personal gain, so that it won't work in your hands. So what I'm trying to get to is that even though they steal your gifts, you hear about people trying to whatever they're trying to possess, like trying to tap into your mind or whatever, trying to understand your thoughts, understand the way you think, get your creative things from you, and actually use that for monetary gains for themselves, leaving you depleted and so forth. So they try to steal from you. But we all know that when they steal your gifts, they don't work. They don't operate the same as they will work for you. So we're glad to know that doesn't allow them to persevere with your gifts. In fact, they become sick. They get sick. They get all types of afflictions as a result of that, because they basically went into the house, a holy and sacred temple, and attempted to destroy or attempted to steal something to utilize it for its own wicked agenda. And when you do things like that, it does not work for you. It actually becomes a curse for you. It becomes a curse in your it becomes a curse for you. So you got
go make that money, man. Get if you can make money, go get it. You know what I'm saying? I said somebody said got to get ready for the grind. Go get that money if you can get it. Get it while you can. Also hit the like button, y'all.
Be careful when you try to manipulate people into stealing their things in order for you to move those mountains, because it wasn't designed for you to move the mountain. So it's like you know, you can't take something from anyone unless it was designed for you to take. So it's one of those things where I go back to say that we're gifted, and you have to find out your gifts usually in the dark. In the darkness, I found out my gifts. I found out that, you know, I know how to write. I can give an account. You know, I can articulate things. I can speak and teach things that have been shared to me by and revealed to me through the Holy Spirit. And I'm able to share these, and you have to build yourself back up, because there's people that intentionally come against you just to tear you down, to take from you, to deplete you, to leave you with absolutely nothing. And then that's your way to say, you know what? I'm not going to allow that to happen. I can't let you kick me down because I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to stay down. Trust me, there's days when I want to stay down. Trust me, there's days when I'm like, I'm laying here. I'm battling with the Lord. I'm laying here. I'm sitting in the bed all day. This is what I'm going to do all day. And it's just like, you can't. I can't. It's like it's not in me to lay in the bed and sulk and be miserable. It's like, you know, get up. And I have to motivate myself. I'm like talking to myself. Get up, Quita. You have to affirm. Look in that mirror in the morning. You know, that voice that talks to you, say, oh, you're conceited. No, I'm not. I'm confident. I know who I am. I know who I am. I don't have to listen to this vanity stuff, because obviously you have a problem. You're not confident. You know, that person or that voice that's speaking is in their place where they are. So you don't allow that to be projected upon you. You just cancel that imagination. You cancel it. You cast it down and look at yourself as being a beautiful, perfectly made, closer to you, that who raised you don't even really know you. So it's just like all my life, in retrospect, I had to raise myself. I motivated myself. Nobody was there. Everybody I was around, literally.
Let me hold up. Let me pull out another video. This is another video of her. This is like one of her.
YouTube is Daquita Carva. It's been a long time since I've done a video. I don't know.
I do believe in the flat Earth, man. You know, I've been doing some heavy research on that, even though right now I really don't care about what shape the planet is, because whatever it is still a damn prison. But the flat Earth, the flat earthers, they be breaking it down. They show facts. You know, it is true that there's no curvature. You know what I'm saying? They make a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, whether it's flat or if it's a cube or a ball, we being gang stalked. And that's the only thing I'm concerned with. You know what I'm saying? I see your comments. I
haven't looked on YouTube maybe a few months or so.
You say you remember her 5 years ago.
This is a very important video. This is probably, I always say that, the most important video that you will watch, but it is very important for you to watch and pay attention. I don't know if I still have the same viewers out there that I used to have.
What's up, Hoodie?
I don't know if people are still checking.
What's up, Hoodie? Yo, I watched your last video, man. You was breaking it down in that video. You know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead and subscribe to Hoodie video, his channel too. He going through it too. He holding it down.
My page still, in hopes that I post something. And
I appreciate everybody tuning in too, man. It's 31 people. I'm surprised. I wasn't thinking that, you know, the bots woke me up. They was attacking me in my sleep. That's why I woke up early.
Things like
but I always wake up though. I always wake up early though.
Slowly taking a turn for the worse, but I'm here because I'm experiencing something that is, I just can't. No matter how much you pray, I've done the fasting, I've done the praying, I've done the praying, the fasting, I've done the repenting, and to my surprise, nothing has changed.
Now y'all hear that? I'm gonna play one more time for the ones that still sleep.
As far as my targeting, I've done the fasting, I've done the praying, I've done the praying, the fasting, I've done the repenting, and to my surprise, nothing has changed. As far as my targeting, as far as
you see that, and that's something. Then when you hear them people about, oh man, all you gotta do is fast and pray in Jesus' name, and your targeting gonna stop. They shields, man. They don't know what they talking about. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing stopping this program. I done prayed every damn thing.
The harassment, as far as what I've been experiencing from day one, that I've realized.
Yeah, I tried to reach out to King Musa, but he don't reach back, man. So you know he definitely going through it, but you know he don't reach back. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing I can do. All I can do is you know, I do my best to try to reach out to people, man. If you're not reaching back, then I'm not gonna be reaching. You know what I mean?
So this feels like there's some other thing that's happening. But I have some information, some proof that I'm going to share with you right now. You need to watch the entirety of this video. What if your whole life was a setup? And this is what I'm saying. I remember watching Black Child doesn't come on anymore. There was a gentleman by the name of Black Child. He did like a lot of celebrity and exposure of the Illuminati and things like this. This was before I knew who Illuminati was. But
I know we got
I was told to watch it.
We got 32 people in the joint. We only got 13 likes, man. So it must be some bots up in his comments. It must be some bots up in there because people ain't liking the video.
This channel. This is when I first was targeted. When I first found out I was targeted back in 2013 when I was awakened to it. 2012 to be exact. But unbeknownst to me, I was been targeted all my life. It's just that I've been unconscious to it. But in 2012 is where I became conscious of it. And I'm not seeing a lot of videos right now with targeted individuals as much as I did. Either something that's changed with them or
they're dying
something
off.
else is going on. But
They're
there's some
they're
strange
dying off.
phenomenon that's happening. I'm going to expose that to you right now.
The target individuals are dying off or converting.
What's happened? It's an alien agenda. I'm going to show you how it's being done to you right now. What's happened? It's an alien agenda.
It's definitely alien
I'm going to show you how
agenda.
it's being done through the housing market. I'm going to show you
Damn
how
right
it's
she
being done
will.
through women trafficking, human trafficking. I'm going to show you how it's being done through us. I am a
She was one of the realest female targets, but besides her and Denise Scott, they the realest. No, this lady right here, I would even put her over Denisha Scott because she was very informed.
I'm a breeder. They are trafficking through me. I'm going to show you, unlock some things that are happening that are coded in the Bible that you never saw before. So, but I just wanted to say something make that point about Black Child. He had a channel referred to as the Black Child. And he's no longer on there, but he
Shout out to New Lily.
Exposed a lot of truth. And I remember him doing a video saying, and a lot of his videos and his content has been taken down. All right. So, I say this because we're already in the New World Order. People have been looking for the New World Order, right? Have you not been looking for the New World Order? When is FEMA coming? When is all of this stuff happening? Well, it's happening. It's happening subtly. It's happening at the unconscious level. It's happening when we go to sleep. This is happening very discreetly. We knew nothing. They happening when we go to sleep.
You hear that, y'all?
This is happening.
It happens when you go to sleep. You're under attack. We in a war. When you go to sleep, we in some type of another spirit, some type of galactical warfare. Man, when you sleep, your stalking don't stop when you sleep. I just want y'all to know that. You know what I'm saying? You battle in the astral plane.
And very discreetly,
What up, Dave?
They
Glad you tuned in. Play.
Let me go back to the Black Child things. I'm going all over the place right now, but Black Child said something that stood out to me, that still stands out to this day. He said, you don't choose them, they choose you. So it goes back to me saying I was chosen as a satanic ritual. I was satanically ritual abused as a child, and I have earlier videos of that on my channel, Mystery of Iniquity. But I wanted to make this point. Here's a picture of me at a young age. This is a picture of me as a baby, okay? This is a picture of me when I was a baby. As you can see, this picture is very dark, okay? This is a dark picture of me. There's a shadow right there. And I'm like to myself, when I look at this picture was in the basement of my mother. I'm staying with my mother, who is one of the individuals who targets me. But this picture was in the basement, and I looked at this picture, and I just look at the sadness of my face, and I'm just looking at this superimposed image that's behind me, that's in the dark shadow. Doesn't even look like me. Doesn't look like me at all, but it's superimposed.
Yo, these synthetic dreams are retarded, man. You know what I'm saying? They be putting all types of synthetic dream. You know, they have me dream about people I don't even think about. I don't even want to think about.
Behind me, and when you look at this scripturally, you have something right here that is the body of, we say the body of Christ. They will be all members. There are some teachings that I did earlier that were
incorrect all day.
In theory, scripturally, when I spoke about them, knowing what I know now. But you have the body of Christ, right? So you have the body right here, and then they take off the.
I see the numbers falling, so I guess maybe a lot of bots are leaving. I don't know.
Head of the shepherd, and then they put the fake head on there, and then meanwhile that face, the real face, becomes the shadow face. So it's people that are stealing our identities. They're stealing the church's identity, the true church. So now you have this body that is disconnected from the head. You have the head going one direction and the body going in another direction. So there's no connection. The two can't connect. It's like the Tower of Babylon. They speak in a different language. They're in different places. So here you have the superimposed, this is the head right here, that has been placed on the body right here. The body has a mind of its own. This is where there's a disconnect, right? There's a disconnect right here because the two are speaking a different language. This is the pagan body right here. This was supposed to be the Christ, so to speak, but it's become something else, right? They scattered Israel. They took off the head.
You said cats have hacks? Are you saying that are they stealing money from you? I can't even find anybody else gang stalking videos. You say you can't find nobody else's gang stalking videos. That's crazy.
And the body is scattered. Okay, so that's the perfect example. And mess with my speech right now. The perfect example of the scattering of Israel. They have no head. All right, the head is a scripture somewhere in the Bible.
Yeah, I get that too. They trying to make purchases. Yeah, I get that all the time. It's like people that got your credit. They got the credit card number, and it's like an automatic purchase, and they constantly just trying to take. You got to keep your shit on lock.
Think of it off the top of my head, but it spoke about the shepherd. If you take off the shepherd's head, the sheep will be scattered, right? Because they have no way to connect with the person who leads them, right?
Okay, the numbers coming back up.
That was all by design. So
people coming back in now, 36, and it dropped to 19. Now it's back to 36.
Looking at this picture, you can see that the whole thing was a setup. It's totally that. You get marked from birth. With the satanic ritual abuse that I explained in my earlier channels. At the age of 4 and up, I was abused and so forth. And it's like I came into this world basically raising myself as a child. I knew things that I shouldn't know at the age of 4, at the age of 5, sexually and things like that I had knowledge of that I shouldn't have known at that age. And that's because of the upbringing that I experienced. And I had to grow up. I had to grow up early. I didn't get that chance to grow up as a child. Not to say that I'm regretful of that. I'm just speaking the truth as to how this has come to be.
2 in the morning.
So I believe that some people are.
If somebody cutting the grass 2 in the morning, they purse. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cut the grass that damn early. I don't even think you're allowed to even cut the grass that damn early.
Created to fulfill Bible prophecy. Ask me about the Bible. I have a whole different story about the Bible. I believe that is and I have a different opinion on the Bible right now. And I'm not here to sway anybody and to lead them into a certain. I'm just only going to speak the facts, speak the truth, and you make your own determination. But there is something very demonic happening. This is something that, we're in these battles, we're in these wars, we're going through these wars with ourselves. It says you versus you. But the truth is they're doing the one eye thing, and that's the shadow. That's the shadow. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Well, here's the thing I got. Here's the question I have. What are you walking through the shadow of death for, right? Are we not alive? Why do we need to walk through the shadow of death? So that's the whole thing. So you see, what does light have to do with dark? And this is where it gets kind of concerning when you start to reanalyze and really start to come into that truth. And you look at the Bible and say, well, what is Satan and God doing? And why are they in the same place at the same time? I thought this is holy ground. Facts. So I thought that evil cannot go where.
Facts. And what she's talking about is Job. The book, when you read the book of Job, that's why I say God gang stalk Job. I know I'm going to step on some toes right now, but if you read the book, the Christians don't read. They just, get their butt hurt. They just get emotional. But if you read the book of Job, God said, whence comest thou, Satan? And he said, I'm just walking to and fro, looking to fuck with somebody. And God was like, have you considered my servant Job? There's none like him. And Satan was like, well, you got him protected. I guarantee you I can fuck him up. And if you take the shield off of him, God was like, all right, well, go ahead. They was casting lots on Job. So go ahead, you just can't take his life. And God tore Job's life. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. You know what I mean? But people are going to disagree because they don't want to believe that. But I'm not. This ain't something I'm coming up with. If you read the book, you will find out your damn self. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for God taking the shield off of Job, then Satan wouldn't be able to do nothing to him. But God released the shield. God took the shield off of Job and allowed Job to get gang stalked. And Job lost everything. If that's not gang stalking, then what is gang stalking then? What happened with Job? The story of Job, for those that don't know. God killed his family. God allowed Satan to kill his family. God allowed Satan to allow Job to get sick. But then people want to say, oh, well, he got it all back at the end. Man, fuck that. He went through hell. And he was a righteous dude. You should have allowed that shit to happen to somebody wicked. Why would you persecute the righteous one? That don't make sense to me. You see what I'm saying? So, you know.
Where it's supposed to be holy at, right? So why is Satan, when you look at the book of Job, and I think the second chapter, and he says, Satan, where have thou been? And he said,
nah, God did it.
To and fro.
Remember, Satan can't do nothing unless God allow it. So if God allowed it, God did it.
Traveling to and fro. And I'm thinking, like, why would God and Satan be in the same location?
Why would God and Satan be in the same location?
I'm a jealous God. And I'm like, well, isn't that a spirit? Like,
exactly. Isn't that a spirit? Why would you even fuck? Would you fuck with a jealous nigga? Would you fuck with a jealous bitch? Why would you fuck with a jealous God? That's an emotional trait. Why?
And then, so you start to, well, isn't that a spirit? Like, you know, and then so you start to question the Bible. Then you have to ask yourself, well, is this Bible written for the God who was the God of this world for that time frame? So then you start to wonder, you know,
jealousy is a deadly disease. You damn right. And in fact, this is the reason why there will never be no black power, because there's too much jealousy in the black community. There's too much envy in the black community. Back in the 90s, back in the day before the streets got infiltrated, when the cats was out there selling dope and they was making mad money and they was buying those fly ass cars and rimming them up, who was attacking those cats that had the money? It was those hating ass niggas. They would get the guns and go rob the drug dealers. And that's how the streets really got infiltrated, because it was bodies popping up, and then the feds had to come and shut shit down. So jealousy and envy never been good. Never. You cannot, how can you explain? If you riding with that, something wrong with you. I would never ride with a jealous God.
The book of a new beginning. It's just the book of something that's old now, if that makes any sense, you know, because when you analyze the Bible, it doesn't make sense. When you look at certain scriptures, you say, wow, well, does not the Bible seem like slavery, witchcraft, control, domination, right, and things like that? You say witchcraft. There's no witchcraft in the Bible. Yes, there is. There's witchcraft in the Bible.
You damn right, there's witchcraft in the Bible.
You see the cooking of the pot, the keldron, and I think that's in the book of Ezekiel, where you see them putting on it. I'll read a part if I can find it.
Like I said, people don't read the book. I read the book.
Yeah, here it is. Symbol of the cooking pot.
I haven't been reading it lately, but I'm about to jump back into it and start reading more.
Verse 24, Ezekiel chapter 24. Thus says the Lord God, and this is, I hope people see this video. I hope that the Spirit of truth allows this video to get out. Ezekiel chapter 24. Thus says the Lord God, put on a pot, set it on, and also pour water into it. Gather pieces of meat in it, every good piece, the thigh and the shoulder, fill it with choice cuts.
See, we in the world reset right now. When the world is resetting right now, they resetting right now, getting rid of us. If they get rid of us, then what? It's a wrap for the world. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? If you get rid of all the star seeds It's gonna be nothing but NPCs and bots down here. It's gonna be. Then what? Then what?
Also, pile a few bones under it, make it boil well, and let the cut simmer in it. This is witchcraft. Okay, that's witchcraft right there. And you say, what is witchcraft doing in the Bible? That's witchcraft in the Bible. It's telling you how behind the scenes there's evil priests, false priests.
This might be too strong for you. Observing the Great Illusion. You better you might change your title. Are you really observing the Great Illusion? Because your religion is the Great Illusion. You better believe that shit.
Angels of Baal.
Look. Religion has not done anything for the peoples. It's so segregated. I'm not gonna fuck with you because you Muslim. I'm not gonna fuck with you because you Jehovah's Witness. I'm not gonna fuck with you because you Baptist. It's segregation. And who gave it to us? The motherfucking beast. The same people that put you in the gang stalk assimilation. Can I get a no there?
Oh, they're fallen angels, okay? These are fallen angelic beings operating under the guise of priests.
Divide and conquer.
All right. So this is basically
what's going on, Mo Smith?
How you're doing it. So this is basically people acting. These are basically people that have blood on their hands. They're operating. Remember the
Jupiter ascending? Wasn't that good?
It says, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." Okay, that's Israel. Thou shalt not drink blood. Okay, so right now we're amongst spiritual vampires. What if I
look? It says she said, "Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live." That's in the book of I think Exodus, right? Look, why did they kill Jesus? Because Jesus was a witch. Jesus was the one doing alchemy. Jesus was the one turning water into wine. Jesus was the one healing people. Jesus was the witch doctor. What do witch doctors do? Witch doctors heal people. Of course you got bad witches. Of course. You see what I'm saying? Of course. It's bad everything. You got bad scientists. You know what I'm saying? But Jesus was out there healing people and they killed his ass. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Then they come at Jesus and say, he's doing sorcery. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, and Pharisees, they came at Jesus. Talking about, no, he's a sorcerer. They tried to stone his ass when he said he was God. Facts. I'm trying to look. This is in the Bible. Read the Bible, hoodie. You talking about hell nah? See, you saying hell nah because you coming at me with your own opinion. You got your ass in the air. Read the Bible, nigga. This ain't something I made up. Read the book. Don't say hell nah. Come back at me with some scriptures.
I told you that there are holy vessels that are being taken by the Babylonian kings. They're emulating, they're trying to fulfill Bible prophecy. And this is happening right now. What if I told you that there was a realm where vessels...
Everything that I say, I give you scripture. Not DB's opinion.
...of gold and silver were stored. Okay, they were placed somewhere, hidden somewhere. Vessels of gold and silver. Who is that? Gold and silver.
I know the Pharisees are the ones that manipulate the people.
The spirit of truth, the holy grails. What if they were in a realm in which they were not to be identified and they were only there to be fed on? What if there were spiritual vampires that existed outside of this realm?
Most people don't have the ability to understand.
They came back and feasted and fed on shit. The gold and silver that they put in their realm for that specific person.
If Jesus was doing the magic to help the beast, they would have kept him alive. But he was out here healing people. He was out here healing people, allowing the blind to see, the deaf to hear, the maimed to walk. They had to get rid of him. He's a threat. So it's the same with you. You're a threat now. Obviously, you must be connected with the same bloodline with Jesus, because this is an eradication going on
for that specific purpose, and that's exactly what's happening. That's what's happening to me. So some of you that have been targeted, that's exactly what is happening. Some of you have taken an oath. If you look at these movies right now, and I can tell you that your oath is the alien covenant. You don't believe me, Queen. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Alien covenant. What are you talking about? Alien covenant. Okay, it's in the Bible. I'm just saying.
It's in the Bible.
You don't believe me? Let's go to Proverbs chapter 5. Aliens amongst you. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 5.
Hey yo, I'm even surprised. You know what I'm saying? I didn't expect people were gonna show up on the live. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I said I wasn't gonna be here long. It's 45 minutes already.
Proverbs chapter 5.
But hey, I go with the flow with it. You know what I'm saying? This is what the universe wants.
And I'm going to show you my lawsuit that I have out. It's my story, my own personal testimony.
Right. The book in Acts chapter 5, it didn't say that they slew. Look, they said they slew and killed Jesus on the tree. They hung him on the tree. What was they doing to black people back in the day? They was hanging them on the trees, right? Right? And then the book of Acts say that they hung him on it, but you don't hear no preachers quote that scripture. No preachers quote that scripture. And I give you the scriptures. Go and look up the book, Acts chapter 5. I believe it's Acts 5 or something. It's in the book of Acts. You can Google it for yourself if you want to know. But most of y'all ain't going to do it. You ain't going to find out because you want to stay in your own little belief system. You don't want to know the truth because the truth fucking hurts.
This thing and lay it right on his ass, literally. I'm going to show you something. All right, so Proverbs chapter 5, the peril of adultery. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Lend your ear to my understanding, that you may preserve discretion.
You damn right.
Your lips may keep knowledge. For the lips of an immoral woman drip honey, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but in the end she is bitter as wormwood. In the end she is bitter as wormwood. How come?
The pastors are Freemasons.
Our garments. They're taking something right now. What they're doing, they're taking something beautiful, right?
I heard. Gino Jennings, he told people go ahead and get the jab.
They've done this to me over and out. There's times where I get very angry. Okay, because they're creating atmospheres, right? They're creating atmospheres for us because why? They want to change our holiness. They want to change us into something that we are not. Okay,
the truth shall set you free. You know, Jesus said that you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free.
These are biblical stories that they have turned into nursery rhymes. They turned them into nursery rhymes. They turned them into Snow White and seven dwarfs. The seven kingdoms, okay, Yeshua, Jesus, who was holy and white, and he gave the seven kingdoms, Snow White and the seven dwarfs. You know, they're changing. You see, they're taking stories from the Bible and putting a Disney character to it.
Right.
So this is what they're doing here. So in the end, she is bitter as wormwood. Why is she bitter as wormwood? Because they created the atmosphere to make her bitter. Jesus was nailed to the cross with a crown of thorns. Do you know what thorns are? Thorns are the parasites. The parasites' drones that they place upon his head. They placed 12 crowns of thorns. The 12, okay? The 12 snares. They put snares upon his head. These are parasites.
And you know the 12 stuff all represents the zodiac. The 12 months in a year, the zodiac, it's all astrology. It's all if once you study astrology, you will see that the Bible is all astrology. The Bible is an astrology book, is a witchcraft book, is a metaphysical book.
Parasites. Okay, he was the healer. He was the deliverer.
12 disciples.
And they nailed him to the cross.
12 disciples. The 12 tribes of Judah. it all represents the zodiac.
They basically created an atmosphere that he could not break out of. They created an atmosphere that it gets to the point like when you got parasites in the water. You got parasites in the ocean, and you're in this ocean, swimming in this ocean with the parasites. You drink from this water. You bathe with this water. You're exposed to this atmosphere all day. You got things in the air. The air is killing.
The government makes the decision, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously it's a bloodline thing. You know what I'm saying?
Killing us. You're breathing in these. You're exposed to this atmosphere all day. You got things in the air. The air is killing us. You're breathing in these toxins. How do you get out? How do you get free?
Right.
Tell me, how do you get free when they put people here, the spirit of truth here? And I'm going to show you how they're doing it because it's going to blow your mind. Wait, because I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind.
Now, you just mentioned King Herod. Now, when you read Matthew chapter 2, whatever, what did King Herod do? He knew that the Christ was born, right? But he didn't know who the Christ was. So he sent his goons to go out there and eradicate all the kids that was like under 2. He said, go kill all the babies from 2 under. So they went on a killing spree trying to find Jesus. But of course, they didn't find Jesus at the time because if they would have killed Jesus as a baby, then the prophecy wouldn't have been fulfilled. So he had to live. But just think about all the other babies that got killed. So how come God didn't protect those other babies? See, the pastor don't talk about this shit. All them, when King Herod went out there and started eradicating babies under 2, why didn't God step down and do something about that? He allowed those babies, those other babies, to get killed. But they protected Jesus. But those other babies got their ass whipped. That's fucked up.
How they're doing it. This is my case. This is my story. I'm copywriting it. This is me. I am the truth. And this is what it is. So let me finish reading this to you. Sharp as a two-edged sword, her feet go down to death. Her steps lay hold of hell. Lest you ponder her path of life, her ways are unstable. So they're discrediting this person right here.
You need knowledge of self.
Therefore, hear me now, my children. Do not depart from the
You got to study all of it.
Your way far from her.
You got to study all of it because it's all a part of your growth. I mean, yeah. You say those babies were sent straight to heaven, but that's just your opinion. You don't know that for sure. That's just you just pulling that out your ass. Or you just want to sound good. Oh yeah, the babies went straight to heaven. How do you know? You don't know where they went.
Do not go near the door of her house, lest you give your honor to others and your years to the cruel one. Lest aliens.
It don't even. In fact, it don't even matter. It don't even matter where they went. They got killed. What would you do right now if you turn on the news right now and turn on the news right now and find out 5 babies just got killed? You gonna be like, oh man, that's fucked up. Man, what happened? Oh man, these babies got killed in a drive-by shooting or a bomb explosion blew up a building and killed all the poor innocent babies. You know, oh damn, that's fucked up. That's what you're gonna say. But this all-powerful God is allowing it to happen though. He allowing it to happen. But you feel bad about it, right? But obviously he don't. You know what I'm saying? He allowing it to happen. He taking the shield off of people like he did Job.
Be filled with your wealth and your labors. Go to the house of a foreigner who is the alien. Okay? And you mourn.
Good reading the Bible,
your
man.
Flesh and your body.
Go do your homework first before you come at DB,
your
man.
Your flesh and your body are consumed.
Because I know the book.
Why? Because they're breeding through you. They're trafficking through you. They're eating your flesh.
You hear that?
Their body are consumed. Your flesh and your body are consumed. Why? Because they're breeding through you. They're trafficking through you.
They're trafficking.
They're eating your flesh.
They're eating your flesh.
They've allowed these parasites. The body is a hologram. Let me blow your mind again. If they can do virtual surgery, they can do virtual witchcraft. All right? Let me tell you. Warfare is different right now.
Yes, it is.
They have placed you in a virtual reality.
Okay. Preach to them.
All of us are playing. We're changing our reality with all of this digital, this tech. It's different right now. Witchcraft. All right. Let me tell you, warfare is different right now. They have placed you in a virtual reality.
We are in a virtual. People talking about the meta. What do you call what they call it? The metaverse is coming. Man, we've been in the metaverse, nigga. What you talking about? Ain't nothing coming. The only thing that's coming is your turn is coming. That's it. For the ones that's not in the game stock assimilation, you about to enter into the metaverse.
They are changing all of us. They have placed you in a virtual reality. Okay. They are changing. All of us are playing. We're changing our reality with all of this digital, this technology, these digital platform. People think I'm crazy when I talk this, but listen, if they can do virtual surgery, if they can go in and manipulate the body, they can do virtual organ donation. Mm-hmm. They can do virtual priests that operate on you like a priest, mm-hmm. and change the whole construct of you.
Yeah, because that's what it's all about. They're trying to change your DNA.
No secrets. They know things. There's knowledge. And if they're trafficking through holy vessels, they know things about those vessels, and they're knowing knowledge. If they're stealing your identities through Facebook, get it? Facebook, the stealing of a face. There's a shadow. They create a shadow. This shadow will go on top of this body, and this face, their innocent face, will go in the clouds, at NASA, in space, in hyperspace, and she's experiencing. I'll speak for myself.
The masses are asleep, dog.
I'm experiencing all these illusions and all these imaginations.
And the main ones are asleep is the ones that are trapped in a religion.
Because they're floods. It's floods of filth. It's
floods of
ungodliness. And this is a constant thing that's happening to me. My experience has been very different to others. Others have talked about the things that I've gone through, but I was not where they were yet. Okay.
Right.
We have Jami Ali, who is, I don't know where she is now, but Jami Ali spoke of the things that I did not experience at the time that she was experiencing. In fact, I have to be honest with you, some of the things that she was experiencing, I did not believe. Okay, so it has become something that has happened to me. No matter how many times I realize that it's not real, it still continues to.
No, religion puts you in a box. You understand? Religion put you in a box, because as long as you caught up in the religion and you caught up in what the pastor is telling you, the one that received the 501c3 status, he's getting paid to indoctrinate your mind. His whole duty is to put you to sleep. You look, the pastor, they get a tax exemption. How can you trust somebody that get a tax exemption? You got to be out your damn mind. They're getting paid by the beast. They get paid by the same people that's orchestrating the gang stalking. So how can you trust that dude? So his whole duty is to keep you in chains, keep you in a mental prison, to keep you in a box. You think he gonna talk like I'm talking? Hell no. He got to pay for that Corvette.
Exists.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why when you go to church, you'll get gang stalked. That's the reason why when you go to church, you will get gang. How the hell can you get gang stalked in the house of God? That don't make no damn sense. You go to church, you go to the mosque or whatever, and they're scratching nose, coughing, looking at you, playing with their phones. You ain't even supposed to have no phones in the damn church. Man, y'all ain't ready, man. Y'all
continues to exist. Why? Because they changed the construct, and I have come to the consistency.
501c3, baby. You already know.
There's nothing moving in America. There is nothing moving in America. America is at a standstill.
America is at a standstill, and ain't nobody waking up.
They have knowledge. They may have gone on to created some other dimension, some other portal of existence, and they have housed all of these entities, all of these things that they're feasting on.
They're using synthetic telepathy on everybody.
People for whatever reasons to get rid of a race, whatever things that they're trying to strike up. But some of us have been created as weapons. Okay, so let me show you in another scripture what's going on, and this is all Israel. Okay, so you go to the book of Hosea, chapter 8.
What up, Raw Truth?
This is apostasy of Israel. I'm not gonna really.
What up, man? What up, Raw Truth? You gotta change your name back to the Real Truman, though, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I still call you Real Truman, even though people probably don't even know who you are. But that's Real Truman right there.
Speak to all of this. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna start at chapter 8, verse 8. Okay.
But now Raw Truth, this lady right here, this lady right here telling the truth right here, yo. She a real one. She probably dead though, but she a real one.
Hold up. Now they are among the Gentiles, like a vessel in which is no pleasure. For they have gone up to Assyria, like a wild donkey alone by itself. Ephraim has hired lovers. Yes, though they have hired among the nations, now I will gather them. And they shall sorrow a little because of the burdens of the king of princes.
Well, yeah, well, you don't want to lean to your own understanding. You definitely don't want to lean to the understanding of the pastors. You see what I'm saying? That's why I keep telling you, what did Jesus tell you to do? Jesus says, seek and you shall find. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you. It's up to you to see. You can't look. Go by facts. Everything that I'm telling you, you can go ahead and look it up yourself. I'm not just telling you to believe what the fuck I'm saying. I'm telling you to go research it for yourself. And you'll find out that I'm telling the truth, because the truth shall set you free. You're going to know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Jesus Christ is a fictional character. But at the end of the day, we are the Jesus today. We are the Jesus Christ. Because they're crucifying us. They got us to the goddamn tree. You see what I'm saying?
Because Ephraim has made many altars for sin. How many of you, they have made many altars for sin. They have become for him altars for sinning. Okay? Then you go down and you say, and they speak about the aliens too. In verse 7, they say.
I don't watch all those movies.
7, they sow the wind and reap the whirlwind. The stalk has no bud. It shall never produce milk.
I've been on here for an hour. That's crazy. The sun is shining right now. I ain't even expect to be on here this long, yo.
choose, aliens will swallow it up. They're feasting off of us. They're feasting off of our blood. Okay?
See, we're dealing with reptilians, man. Y'all don't understand that this is a galactical warfare. This ain't just about the white man. This is about these fucking reptilians that's feasting off of us. They need us to survive. Like a mosquito, like a bed bug. Bed bug gonna come and creep to get the blood at night while you sleep. Well, you gotta look at the government just like that. The government ain't nothing but a big ass bed bug. And they're here to suck your blood. They don't give a damn about you. You can believe what the fuck you want. They gonna come and get your blood. Because they gotta live. Just like what the Morpheus told Neo. He said, you ain't nothing but a battery. That's it. A battery. They need your juice.
They're changing they're trying to manipulate the DNA. This is the beast versus the holy seed. So you have falsehood wearing the identity of what is true. Okay, and I'm gonna show you how they did that with me. I'm a perfect example. I'm gonna show you that on YouTube in a lawsuit that I have filed in federal court, where I was unlawfully foreclosed on. My home was unlawfully foreclosed on. Unlawfully evicted. Here's a lawsuit. I'm not lying. This is my story. Decreta Carva, there I am right there. And these are all of the entities I'm suing right here.
Now see, look, she went and got this lawsuit and you ain't hear nothing else about her. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So that right there let you know, man, you ain't getting no lawsuit, player. You ain't getting no lawsuit, man, because the judges is in on it. The lawyers is in on it. The cops. The FBI, but how the fuck can you, man, how do you think you're going to go ahead and go to court and sue against, this is national security. This is national security, dog. They are doing this shit in the disguise of national security. Terrorists. They told you that the 911 thing was terrorist, right? The Al-Qaeda and all that shit, right? Come to find out that you the terrorist now. They want you to believe they programmed, they deceived you. Ain't the Bible tell you that the devil is a great deceiver? They deceived you and had you thinking that them Arab motherfuckers with the big beards was the enemies. Nah, nigga, you are. You are the big enemy, and we coming to get you. And all that 911 shit was that was the beginning phase of what we going through right now. Can I get a no there?
Mortgage electronic registration system.
Because that's when they really cracked down when that 911 shit popped off. That martial law started back then.
Mars. Okay? It's Mars. All right. So I'm going to show you exactly what's happening. I guarantee you a lot of African American has some affiliation with mortgage electronic, for those of you who are homeowners, mortgage electronic registration systems, MERS. Okay, I'm sure they are in some. Look at your contracts and look at the verbiage that's contained in your deeds. Look at what's happening. I'm going to read something here. I'm going to read some of this. I'm going to read you some of my lawsuit. This is filed in Pacer Federal Court. They're doing some things. They're changing our reality. They're distorting our reality.
You did right.
I'm going to show you a perfect
virtual
example
prison.
as to how they're doing that.
A virtual reality. Because look, think about it. If they was to let one person win a lawsuit, then that means they will have to pay for everybody because there's so many people. It's so many people that's in this program. And then you got to think about the people that already done died. And then once the family members find out that, oh, such and such died that was in their family, died in this program, they're going to be upset and blah, blah, blah. So they're going to be dishing out a lot of money to everybody. They ain't doing that. They ain't doing that. Everything will be exposed. It's too much. It's too much to expose. It's nowhere in the world they could let one person get a lawsuit. You see what I'm saying? Because, man, I mean, the shit would hit the fan and everybody would be like, yo, America ain't shit. They done sold out their own peoples. I'm trying to tell you, man, this is China anyway. This ain't even fucking America. We already in China, baby.
Give me 1 second. They're trafficking through me. When I go to sleep at night, I'm waking up to breaths. It feels like I'm in an astral realm or something. I'm in a realm of the astral where I have reptilians. I don't know what these entities are. I don't know what they are. It feels like their breath is in my face and it creates a harsh atmosphere. It's horrible. It's horrendous, if I can describe it. It's horrendous. It feels like a breath and there's something foreign inside of me that I'm fighting with. That is not me. And they say it's you versus you, but the truth is they created altars of sin. Do you get that? An altar personality. They basically split you. When you look at the book of Daniel, chapter 7, I believe, and they speak of the thrones. There's only one throne, people, but they speak of thrones that were given to Israel through the Most High. Okay, they speak of these thrones. They divided portions. Okay, so they look at the mind. When you look at the mind, they say we only occupy 10% of our mind, right? So I always said to myself, well, what happens to the 90%? If we're only occupying 10%, where is the other 90% at? They divided portions. They divided thrones. So that means the dead, to me, I think the body of Christ is technically dead. I mean, personally, because there's no life in death. How can you die? There is no life in death.
Technically, I believe we are the body of Christ, because they say it right. There's only one body, and we are the body of Christ, and that's why we're being persecuted.
So, and how many of you have repented and have received no cleansing of your sins? Because there's an altar. There's an altar that they have to eat off. They eat sin. The reptilians eat sin. So how can they heal you if they still trying to eat? So they have to create this altar that's probably hidden and that they come in and feast on off of this holy thing. So they have this altar that they're eating from that they created, okay, specifically for them to eat off of, okay? And that altar is what you're fighting. It's not you. It's demonized, okay? Because that's not even you. So there's a whore, so to speak, a whore. There is some of you who are feeling like you're having sex when you sleep and you think that's you. That's not you. That's not you. They put a spirit of whoredom on you.
Right.
Now, some of you are whores.
Now, look. Tell me, put a thumbs up for those that be getting the wet dreams. I've been fighting mines. But they do it. They try to hit you with these wet dreams, fucking with your mind.
Some people are whores, but there's some people that are not whore, and they've been given that spirit, and they put that demon. It's a demon. It's a demonic spirit that they put on you so that they can feed off of you. And they come in, if you're under the oath, you probably won't feel it. But if you're not the oath, and they're trying to force you to take
the gang stalkers out there slamming doors right now.
By the way, watch it.
The gang stalkers out there slamming doors.
The alien covenant. Okay, that's what you have subjected yourself to. A covenant of death.
A covenant of death.
On America.
Can I get a no there?
So here it is. They're trying to distort the truth. And those of you, they're jealous of the people that are free, like me. I consider myself to be free. Why are you free, Quita? You getting harassed? Well, I'm free because I won't take their oath. I know what's going on. And it's like, it goes back to that song by Lauryn Hill. I get out. You know, she said, you wake up and find yourself a sacrifice to the system for the dead. Okay, this is not my words, people. Right. This is Lauryn Hill's song. This is her voice. I told you.
What did Lauryn Hill say? You might win some, but you just lost one? Yeah.
I had this on my YouTube channel before. She said in her own words, she said in her own, you just want to use me. You say you love me, but you abuse me. I'm going to show you that too, the hidden thing with that, this love, this thing called love, this false love that's on the schedule, by the way. It happens at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., 9 p.m., false love. They create an angry environment. So at somewhere at 8:30 or 8 a.m., you're real angry. And then this system ticks in. This spirit that is false. It's a computer-generated system where something feels on when you feel love at 9 a.m. You feel love at 12. It's false love. It's a computer that's learning how to mirror.
You gotta understand, demon is just a title anyway. The word demon, which is Damien, you got that word demon means genius anyway. So these demons are smart. They're highly intelligent. They're way more intelligent than you. So there's many demons. So when you just say demon, that's just a title. You know what I'm saying? That you got to be a little more specific. You got reptilians, you got archons, you got galactical beings, you got the Palladians, you got the Andromedians, you know what I'm saying? You got so many different names of these entities. So, you know,
a human experience. So here we go. They're doing research on us, folks. They're doing research on us. They're creating false realities. They're creating false realities.
This is a harvest. You know what I'm saying? For them to be doing this much to you, You got to know, you got to look within yourself and be like, yo, it's something about me, man. You know what I'm saying? If didn't Jesus say you shall be able to go out there and do more miraculous things? Oh, that's right. I'm talking to a bunch of people that don't read the Bible, right? But I'm gonna tell you, Jesus said you should better go out there and do more miraculous things than I done did. You should better go ahead and cast the mountains into the sea. Jesus already said you got the power. He said in the scriptures. Go read it.
And illusions, and so forth.
You will do greater things than me.
I'm going to show you something on how they're distorting the truth.
You are a source, right?
Okay. I'm going to show you something.
And see, the thing about it, that why do you think when somebody said they got to know how to, right? Why do you think they poison us so bad? Why do you think they hitting us with these scalar technology? Why? To keep us down. They don't want us to ascend. They don't want us to activate. You see what I'm saying? They don't want us to activate to who we really are. So they got to do all these fucking high technology, implanting us with the implants and the nanobots and the takeover from the inside out, changing our DNA, changing our structure, because they don't want you to ascend. They don't want you to become God-like. They don't want you to become the superhero that you really are. It's like think about us like Hancock. Y'all see the movie Hancock? Hancock had superpowers, but he was a bum and he was an alcoholic. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, he had superpowers though. You see what I'm saying? So it's like that's how we can relate. That's how we are. We got superpowers, but we don't even really know it. They got us all bummed. We got us all dumbed down. We got Jordans on. We going to Walmart. We going to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? We think we doing shit. We should be flying out this bitch. You excited because you got a car and some sneakers on your feet. We should be flying. They got you thinking that telepathy is demonic. We all know how to do this shit. They using telepathy with technology, but in all reality, we can do it with our minds. Go watch the movie The Darkest Minds. You ain't gonna watch it, but I'm putting it out there. The movie called The Darkest Minds. They had gang stalked the children. The movie, I'm gonna see if I could do a breakdown of that movie if I find the movie, right? They had gang stalked the kids. They was young kids that had superpowers. They was able to do mind control, manipulate people with their minds and stuff like that, telepathy, create fire. Remember the movie Fire Starters? All that shit is real. We can do those type of things. That's the reason why they keep poisoning us, because they don't want you to tap into those powers. And if you do tap into those powers, the CIA coming to get your ass. I'm showing you things. This is my proof. This is my story. If you do tap into those powers, you better not tell nobody, because they coming to get you. Right here. I have a security deed. This is for the house that was foreclosed on. Watch the movie Darkest Minds. You will understand what I'm talking about. The movie Darkest Minds. What I flying around slapping perps, kicking them right in the teeth. Was a fraudulent transaction. Here's a security deed. Somebody hear me. Deed. Okay, mind you, I've been used as a weapon. I'm being. What did the Bible say? Jesus say, "He that hath the spirit," he said, "He that hath the ears to hear, let him hear what the Spirit saith to the churches." So if you got the ears to hear what I'm saying, then you good. If you got those itchy ears like the Bible talked about, then you ain't gonna hear what I'm saying. You got those itchy ears. You caught up in your own opinion. This ain't my opinion, y'all. This ain't my theory. This is facts. You see it for yourself. Used as a weapon, okay? Mind you, I've been used as a weapon. I'm being used as a weapon, okay? I'm being used as a weapon to come against my people, Black people, okay? I'm being used as a double agent at the unconscious level, all right? This is how they manipulated my reality. This is the house I lived in, okay? This is the house I lived in, 285 Emerson Trail in Covington, Georgia. For those that's just coming in, she's a registered nurse, being gang stalked, can't get a job. But this is an old video. This is like 3 or 4 years ago. But this is just what they do. It don't matter. It don't matter if you ain't commit no crime. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. In this house, they foreclosed on this house. I purchased lots. The lot that I purchased Right. The Oracle. Right. Remember on the Matrix, when the little boy was like, he said when he allowed the spoon to bend, he's like, first there is no spoon, and blah blah blah. He said, you know what I'm saying, and that's when he allowed the spoon to bend. You know what I'm saying? He was just, man, look, this is all an illusion, man.
Let me show you something.
Look, I still didn't get to that part yet. I don't know how to watch the Darkest Towers. Y'all done did a video on that. I don't know how to make the spoon bend yet. I did a video on Darkest Tower 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? When I first started the YouTube.
You can see the lot that I purchased was lot 227.
But go ahead and watch Darkest Minds. Because that really did show you how the government was gang stalking the kids that had the superpowers. And that's why they named it. That's why they named it Darkest Minds, because anything dark is supposed to be like sinister. If you look at the word black means mischief, evil, and stuff like that. And then you look at white means pure and innocent. You see how the mind games they play with you? That's why you got to be careful with the English language, because the English language is a bastardized language, and that's the reason why you can't go to court. That's why when you go to court, they always tell you to get a lawyer to represent you, because you can incriminate yourself without knowing what the fuck you're talking about when you use the Webster dictionary.
Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but you read that. This is the description, the land description. Lot 227, right there, I see it, is what I purchased. I purchased lot 227. Okay. And they have now since, I wish I could show you this on the Newton County, if the county was Newton County. The property tax record search, when you enter in that address, 285 Emerson Trail, unless they change it, they probably will since I did this. But I have a printout of the map of the land. They changed it. They changed the lot where I lived at. They changed it. Lot 227, by the way, means true. Okay? It means, look at it on Strong's Concordance. Type in 227, the meaning of 227. It means truth. Lot 227 was on Emerson Trail where I lived at, right? But now they changed it. It's lot 310 in the same location. Lot 310 means to what? Cry out. Lot 310 means to cry out. They moved lot 227 at a different, somewhere over here on a different street, Harrison Circle, somewhere on a different street. But this is what I'm talking about. This is how they try to confuse and manipulate. This is a prime example of what's happening in my life. There's an attack on the truth. We are in the New World Order. We can't see what's happening right now. Somewhere, somebody's in the midst of a struggle. Somewhere, they have left the spirit of truth, those who are prophets and speak truth. They have left us in a different realm of reality. We are stuck in a different realm of reality. Why the church is under attack. And I'm talking about the church that don't know how to pray. I'm talking about the church that is lost and don't know how to pray. And they're being taken by who? Mars. They're being taken. So you hear all of the stuff we hear about space talk. All this stuff is centered around space. So you have
go watch Minority Report.
Sorry, hold on.
Because I already did a video on that. The movie The Minority Report, how we in the pre-cog. This is the pre-crime. They trying to because they can read our minds. So you really can't even look. I wanted to say this before too. The Myron Mays situation. Y'all remember Myron Mays when he went out there and shot the people up? And I forgot the other bull. Anybody know the light-skinned bull that went out there and shot the 3 cops? The one that drove 300 miles down Florida somewhere? You know what I'm saying? Anybody know that dude's name? I forgot his name. But he went out, he shot and killed 3 or 4 cops. He was being gang stalked. He was an ex-vet. He was in the military. They put him on the damn gang stalking list. So he went out there and killed 3 or 4 cops. Now check it out. If you're being targeted, if you're on the gang stalking list, you already know. If you've seen Minority Report, you already know about the precog. So they already know your thoughts before you even commit the crime. So this dude went out there and drove 300 miles to go out there and kill the cops. They already knew he was going to do it anyway, because they already using the CERN machine, the quantum physics and shit like that. So they already know what you're about to do. So why didn't they stop it? Because they want crime. So they intentionally allow this black man to go out there and kill those cops, even though they knew that he was going to go out there and do it anyway. And he went out there and did it, and then they sniped him. They killed the black man. They sniped him, but he got away. He killed like 3 or 4 cops. So what I'm saying is that all this technology that they have, they're not using it for what they should be using it for. They're not using it to actually stop the crime. They're using it to commit the crime, and then when you go out there and commit the crime, they're gonna take you down, and then they're gonna make news about it. That's it.
So I'm gonna read you something that happened. I went to go purchase a home in 2006. Me and my ex-husband. We went to go purchase a home in 2006.
Yeah, SWAT took him out. He was an ex-Marine.
We love this. I'm gonna tell you how crazy this is. All right, I'm gonna tell you how everything is a setup. All right, this house, it was like the last house. I think it was the last basement house. It was the last basement house back in 2006.
Right. If you're on the low frequency, yeah.
They said it was too far out. That was the only thing we had. We had looked at another house, and I was thinking about that house, and I said, you know what? I loved it. The house was perfect. I said, the only thing is, it's too far out. So I'm going to. I mean,
I hear somebody, you said, may God curse and punish the evildoers. Yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want to happen. But if you go back and read Job, God didn't do that. God cursed the righteous man. Y'all better check your God, man. You better check your God, because God ain't cursing the evildoers. The evildoers is wealthy. The evildoers got fly-ass cars. The evildoers is getting all the pussy, the pretty pussy. The evildoers is right now on islands right now in beautiful resorts, and with their feet in pretty glass blue water, living the best life. That's what the evildoers are doing. Meanwhile, we're being, with the righteous was us, the Christ, the ones that's being crucified. Guess what? We stuck in our own poor ass cities, eating ramen noodles, ain't got no money. We can't even travel. We stuck. We ain't going nowhere. We're not being blessed. Why is God protecting the evildoers but persecuting the righteous? You got to ask these questions. But we was always programmed to not question God. So you're not going to question that because you're too scared. You're too scared to question that. But deep down inside, you know I'm telling the truth. How come you don't have a mansion? How come they got us crammed up in these motherfucking tight ass neighborhoods? Meanwhile, these rich folk living the best life. They living in the woods. They ain't got no neighbors. They got acres of land. They balling. But we struggling. You living paycheck to paycheck. Even if you got a paycheck. I don't even have a paycheck. I don't have a job. You know what I'm saying? I'm blacklisted. I don't even have no girl. I ain't. Oh, y'all want to know the truth? I ain't afraid to let y'all know. I ain't get laid in 3 years. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real TI over here, player. I live this fucking life. Fuck the naysayers. Fuck them shield motherfuckers that talk shit about DB. They just shields. They getting paid to just throw dirt on my name. Like Tupac said, they like Judas to Jesus. You just here to cause confusion. I'm in this shit for real. I don't know when I'm going to leave this motherfucker. So that's why I'm going to speak my truth until the day I fucking die. Fuck this place.
It's too far out. So we decided to look at that other house that we had looked at previously. So we went back to Conyers and we put a contract on Conyers, on the house in Conyers. And this is just how deceptive everything is. I saw the vision. You have to have vision. In these last days, you have to have vision in order to do anything.
I hope y'all can hear me.
With this particular house. But with the Conyers house, I had vision with. So I went to that house and I said, something ain't right about this house in Conyers. So I said, I said, the way that you're building the house is not matching up with the plan. The house had
The evildoers are living a lavish life, while the righteous are suffering. How can you justify that?
Plan. We had a floor. The house wasn't built yet, but we saw a model of it, and we had the floor plan of it. And I'm looking at the floor plan, and I'm looking at the building of the house. I said, it's not the same. So I said, the house is not the same as the plan. I don't see how it's going to be. And she was arguing with me, and we were going back and forth about the. I'm like, I don't want it because it's not built. It's not the same as the floor plan, and I can see it. I can see it very clear. And so I ended up taking the contract off of that house based off that reason. Come to find out, I was right. So I took a contract off. Went back to that house. We were 30 days in that contract. Went back to that house because they had told me when I went there, I better get that house back because another couple from California was going to get that house. And I didn't expect it to be there. So we went back and the house was still there. Waiting for us. So we went back to the house and go figure, the house is on Emerson Trail. Emers, MERSON, MERS. I'm suing, the person I'm suing is MERS, Mortgage Electronic Registration System. My former name is Romer, ROMER. Okay, so I mean, yeah, you can't make this stuff up, right? So anyway, so I go back there and I go back to the house and we get the house. We do the contract and everything. Let me tell you, the house was not right, okay? The house was not right.
Everything about design.
Things begin to happen in that house. And there's portals. There's houses that you buy that have spirits on them. There are houses that you hear about people having elevators in their house and things like that. There's land that is condemned, okay? There's a thing with land when you buy houses. The land is condemned.
Right. I agree with you. That's another reason too why I'm not having sex. Because yeah, I could go to the bar and hang out, but I don't do that because I don't want to get mixed up with these parasites. You know what I'm saying? And you never know. You already know you're the target, so you might get set up. You know what I'm saying? You might get some coochie, but they might set you up. So that's why I don't go no. I was really I used to do the club thing back in the day when I was younger, but it just wasn't really me though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Damn right, it's the Galactic Federation. You said, what did you say, Dave, about the Emerson brand?
Meaning that I don't know if I don't know what was on that land. It was a place that was empty before, prior to us buying it. It was an empty land. I don't know. To this day, I don't know what the land was used for before. I haven't looked into that. But if that land was used, it's a possibility that it could be been used for something nefarious. I don't know. But it's interesting.
You got to understand, people. Every day you wake up, there's entities that's out to set you up, man, daily. They are trying their best to get you. Every day they're plotting. You cannot allow that to just slip your mind. Yeah, we could do the law of attraction. Yeah, I do it every day. Oh yeah, law is a beautiful day. It's hallelujah, a beautiful day. Yeah, I think positive, but at the same time, you got to be realistic too. It's just like growing up in the hood, growing up in the ghetto. You growing up in the ghetto, you can't deny that there's drive-by shootings and police activities going on and fights and all that stuff popping off. You can do your best to try to overlook it, but at the same time, it still exists. So at the end of the day, like I said, at the end of the fucking day, they're trying to kill you or convert you, period. And you cannot just, I'm just going to ignore that. Like some people try to say to do, just ignore gang stalking. It's not that bad. It's not that serious. They shields.
That house, I can tell that the land was condemned based on some of the things that were happening in there. It was like a portal and how everything lined up. Like you were chosen.
You talking about her, Dave? Yeah, she said Emerson. Okay.
In that house. And these are the powers that chose you. So I'm going to show you something. So this is a federal lawsuit. This is the power to hold. I'm reading on page 5. I haven't filed this yet. This is my summary judgment. I have a complaint that's already filed there. That's very thorough and explanatory.
I got a phone that don't ring. Only time my phone ring is when it's scam likely calling me. That's it. I ain't got no friends calling me. No females calling me. No niggas that I grew up with calling me. None of that.
This is the summary judgment because I have
I'm targeted.
Evidence, you know. This is all of the things that I'm filing. This is my own doing. I'm acting as pro se litigant. But one of the things I'm going to read right here is the power to have and to hold real property. I'm going to read from that part. It is a fact that First Magnus Financial Corporation never existed. A national banking association may purchase, hold, and convey real estate for the following purposes, according to the U.S. Code referenced above. If there is no bank, we took a mortgage with a bank, come to find out this bank never existed. There's something dualistic happening here. There's something shadowy about this. The bank never existed that we took the loan from, that the loan originated from. The bank never.
Hold up. I just read Mo Smith. Yeah, you're right. They do take our energy. You know what I'm saying? They're vampires. You know what I'm saying? They want to have. I had one lady before. She wanted sex all day, every day. Just, you know what I'm saying? But she was a vampire. Just want to suck my energy.
Existed. I went to the location that was owned from, that the loan originated from. The bank never existed. I went to the location that was on the federal TILA form. They said that, and there's been people who leased that building prior to 2006. There was no such bank there ever. No such mortgage company ever. All right. So, and I go on to say and conclude, if there is no First Magnus Financial Bank, there's no way to convey to any other national bank that they may hold the property of Ms. Carva. They held property. Okay, this is the terminology that they use in our real estate transactions. It appears that the funds originated from another source, which explains the multiple loan numbers of the corporate assignment in which Mars gave Wells Fargo Home Mortgage and Wells Fargo Bank permission to have and to hold the property that is real. They're doing some other form of transaction when you purchase homes. When you purchase a house, there's hidden terminology in that deed in which they. You
said there's a two children that will come. Who you talking about? What was it? Enoch and Elias? Are you talking about?
Say we give this to Dequita Carva has allowed this person to have and to hold. I'm going to show you to have and to hold by its assigners, its predecessors, or whatever the verbiage that they use, which means something totally different. Okay, it's some coded language for them to basically. The two witness use you as a slave in trafficking, human trafficking. This is a form of human trafficking that is being done through real estate, through the real estate transactions. Here's a security deed. Okay, here's where Dequita Carva was given, and it's saying that I was a grantor, by the way, which means that it looks like I was the bank. Okay, it also says the lender is my address. So it looks like they were trying to create a twin. Okay, so it looks like they were trying to create a twin, which will be my rival. Okay.
Well, you know we got a twin. If y'all did your homework on the straw man, put a thumbs up. You know what the straw man is first before I even go into it, because the straw man is real deep. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have to do your homework on this. See, some of y'all be thinking I'm just talking on my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like they be just making this shit up. You know what I'm saying? But you do have a twin. You do have a twin, and your straw man is who you got to represent in court. Like if you go to court or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's why when you get mail, is in all caps. That's what the straw man is not you. The straw man is a fictitious person,
which would be my rival.
That's why I do like the Moorish science, because when you study the Moorish science, they break all that shit down.
This is what they allowed. Where is it at? Here we go again. Oh.
Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. Man, we going in. 134. This hour and 35 minutes. I think this might be the longest live I did so far.
You see, when you do something, yeah, I just found out something else. I'll hold that for later. I don't want to confuse the whole thing. But this is a weapon. They're saying I'm a weapon in a sense. So they basically put me, I'm going to show you how they did this. So they said,
you're a weapon,
this is
y'all.
the Queen of Carver, to have and to hold this property unto MERS solely as a nominee. A nominee is like a gift, somebody that's been won a contest. All right, you watch Hunger Games, you win a contest, you get the gift, the tree of life, right? It's given to the winner, one who remains steadfast. All right, nominee to the lender and lender successors and assigns, and to the successors and assigns of MERS. So this means like whoever is a MERS. A lot of y'all believe y'all in the 144,000, and I've spoken about that before. But that's Mars. I believe that there's two 144,000s. One is the enemy. One is Mars. The one that would say there will be no peace on earth. Okay. I believe that people are going to this. This is the weapon, the 144,000, in which they have taken good things, good people like me, and other good people like me, and turned them into a weapon in order to basically destroy their garments, destroy their credibility, destroy anything. And they've taken the bad people, the wolves in sheep's clothing, and they made an
exalted them, too.
And we become a slave. So it goes back to
I appreciate
that
you
song,
hit the like button.
Lauryn Hill.
I appreciate if anybody got any money that they could donate to DB, man. Because DB is unemployed player. You know what I'm saying? They don't want me to rise. You know what I'm saying?
You just want to use me, say you love me, and then abuse me. You never thought you'd lose me. And she wakes up to the reality, that we've been used for a system.
I don't beg nobody for no money. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know what I'm saying? But if I watch other people's channels and they get mad super chats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And they don't need they just talking about some regurgitated shit. They just talking about ancient Kemet or something. You know what I mean? Some crystals. I mean, but this is real life shit that's going on right fucking now of what we talking about and what we going through. You know what I mean? This is our life. You know what I'm saying? On the line. We're being sacrificed, y'all. I mean, do y'all just allow that to sink into your head? You're being sacrificed. You are the ultimate sacrifice. You gotta just let that sink into your head, man.
For the dead, to the dead. We've been used as a system for the dead. Animal, the dead, to the dead. We've been used as a system for the dead. Animal conditioning. The lion tribe of Judah, the lions, they call themselves lions and savages. So all of this is, listen to her lyrics, the song I Get Out. Listen to her lyrics and how she exposes the elite and how we're used as their slave. They basically turned something that was righteous, that abided by the law, and tarnished it. And basically told,
what was it? Was it Boss Hall? You right.
Hidden investors. I'm going to finish reading what I was reading. But I had to show you that. Because they gave me to hold, they're using me as a property, right? They use us as a property. Plaintiff believes there was a blanket loan that was done in an effort to create a confusing transaction that would be difficult to track utilizing the MERS database. By definition, blanket loan
she's speaking raw facts,
mortgage is a type of loan to fund the purchase of more than one piece of real property. Okay? So I'm going to go on to show you another thing. I'm going to read this first, and I'm going to show you exactly so you can get how this is being done.
See, this is a lady that reads. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I get tired of the people that be coming at my neck, and they don't even know nothing about what they believe in, man. At least study the book, because once upon a time I didn't know either. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like I always knew this shit, but. You got to study to show that stuff approved. You got to put in the work. Just like going to the gym or anything else. You got to put in the work. And the more you read, the more you open up your mind, you're going to find out the truth. You're going to find the truth. You know what I'm saying? The truth going to find you. And you're going to be astonished, man, because I'm trying to tell you, man, like Morpheus told Neo, do you want to know? Do you want to know the truth? He said, look. Basically, he was letting them know, like, look, there's no going back once you take that red pill. Once you know what I'm saying, you can take the blue pill and go right back to sleep and believe in Santa Claus all you want. But once you take that red pill, You going down a rabbit hole, player, and a rabbit hole don't fucking stop. Can I get a hello there?
I'm reading page, and I haven't posted just yet, but it is, a lot of this is in my complaint that I filed already.
The Cash App, man, because the super chat, I ain't gonna get that money. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a threshold. You gotta accumulate a certain amount. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? And then they taking 30%. They take 30% of YouTube's gonna take the money. So if you could send it to the Cash App, I appreciate it.
It's a lot of information on initial disclosures already that I've already filed. All right. Therefore, I'm reading on this next one. Therefore, plaintiff can proclaim that the shadow bank and the defendants in this action were invested in another form of property that would be proven to be real. However, it can be proven that plaintiff does have a viable trade evidence by the joint $10 and believes she owns the property and/or properties in the community of Legend of Ellington. Okay. Wells Fargo Bank, Wells Fargo Home Mortgage, and MERS and its affiliates foreclosed on her home and left their clouds, there was a lien, their clouds and or heirs to continue to cause her great stress without any relief to this day, causing climate changes and global warming as she prepares this case and hopes that she too will become a shadow and her identity could be stolen along with her story regarding the onslaught of her life through the use of covert harassment, surveillance, and torture under the guise of human trafficking of property in a pool of atmospheres. So this is what's being done. There were multiple loans taken out on one house in which I already owned technically by a deed, and that's really complicated. But bottom line is, we took out a loan on that house. There were other loans that were taken out. There was a lot of confusion around that time where they were trying to get us qualified and they were like doing all of these tricks. Oh, you didn't qualify. So you were filling out multiple applications, right? Multiple applications in which I believe that there was some other loans by straw buyers, okay? People who basically assume your identity behind the scenes.
Straw buyers, straw buyers.
In which they took out loans as well. They also took out loans. And as a result, some of those loans, because they go into a pool, they go into some sort of type of mortgage-backed security. A lot of us, our homes are not our homes. We don't realize this. This is behind the scenes. We don't realize that this is happening. But there's investors that invest in the property, and this is all done behind the scenes. They sell the notes over and over and over again, right? The mortgage sells the loan to investors. These investors are hidden. They were hidden from us. We had no knowledge of these investors. I had no knowledge that there was multiple loans on the one house, but they were investing on another property. This is where I say they were investing on me as a property, me being the head of something that was true, the body in which things were, in which I was carrying. You know, our bodies, we carry sacredness, minerals. We have things in our body that we don't even know we possess as human beings. And as a result, they're investing in that. There's things that are hidden in us that we don't realize. All right. And so these investors didn't give a damn about the property. They were investing in you. So there's work that we do in the night that we don't know about, okay, that we're unconscious to. All right. So this is something that they invested in. They took something of you. They created altars, split you up, gave you identity, put different demons on you, right? They demonized you, and they basically had you engaging in acts unconscious to you, okay, that are unconscious to you. So therefore, as a result, these investors were investing in doing some shady things. So you got all these properties that are part of a covenant, that are part of a subdivision. And the subdivision usually have a covenant, right? They usually have a covenant in this subdivision. And you don't know, it's all behind the scenes. There's other loan numbers, there's investors investing on you. They're buying and selling, passing along a note, you being the note, you being the money, the source of revenue, and they're passing it on. What they're doing to having to hold you, they're doing something sexual. Yeah. It's all sexual.
It's all human trafficking.
Sexually related. It's all behind the scenes. It's all hidden. They put you into this unconscious. It's synonymous with witchcraft. It's synonymous with rituals. Wow. It's synonymous with being a weapon, ensnaring men. We go out in the day and not realizing there's another side of us that's doing hidden nonverbal.
Who is Big Flower? Who is Big Flower? Is that a bot in here? I don't know who that is. Who that is?
Cues soliciting men. There's other parts of you that at the unconscious level are signaling men to come near you, to attract to you, and you unconsciously are having sex with these men on a different level, if that makes any sense to you. If you can visualize that, that's what's happening. Meanwhile, men are getting ensnared, black men, I'm going to say, for me, they're using me to attack my own people. Okay?
The bots got to learn too, so I'm glad the bots are here. I'm glad, you got to learn too, man.
They're using me as a weapon to attack my people. All right, they're using a lot of women as honeypots to attack our men. Why? Because that's just my people. All right, they're using a lot of women as honeypots to attack our men. Why? Because that's the strength. If they can get rid of our men, they can get rid of us. Okay, they get the women. Just get the women and the children. We can enslave the women and the children. And that's exactly what they're doing.
Don't leave, you big flowers. Stay and learn. Take some notes.
They get them into this honeypot.
Educate your damn self.
And then they set them up, and then they unleash a beast. Okay, they unleash some sort of thing that is ritualistic. Okay,
go get your crayons. Go get your crayons, man, and take notes.
The ritualistic level that is getting them in some sort of trouble, and they're pinpointing it to who? You, to me. Boom, she's the target. She's the one. She's gonna kill their people. So this is where you have to become smart at. This is where you have to understand that they're playing a game with us. They're playing a game. This is a very serious game. If you look at Hunger Games, they turned the nation of Israel against each other. Okay, and they did that by strategy. And this is how you have to be smarter than them to say the answer isn't fast. The answer is don't play the game. The answer is trying to change your reality and to expose it. The answer is not going to go fight a war that you can't see, because I can't see these people. They're invisible entities that are creating all. I know it's not real. We know that the enemy is destroyed. I don't care how much you say that. It's becoming very real, and it's manifesting. I'm gonna tell you how it's manifesting. Look at Holly Berry. Holly Berry that said there's a man that claimed to have had a deed to her house. They're using me. My life is being portrayed. It's like when I speak about things, I guarantee, even right now, when I speak about, you'll see something.
I'm doing a live right now.
I'm speaking about on television. You'll see it on television. Everything that I'm talking about, I guarantee.
I'll be out there in a minute.
It's like I'm a broadcast system. I'm not lying. When you see me talking, whenever I talk, you're gonna see it being portrayed on some sort of media outlet. Holly Berry now has, this last week, I believe, has said that an intruder has claimed to have a deed to her house. So this is all code. They're using coded language. Pay attention. Pay attention to the news. Pay attention. They're telling you coded language. This is a new world order. You're like, when is it black or what all this stuff? It's happening right now. It's happening. Some of us don't have the discernment. Some of us are really dumb and numb to it. It's already happening.
It's already happening. We live in a world where innocent children are allowed to be molested, human trafficked all across the world daily by millions, along with abortions. There is no God. Wake the fuck up.
They got me in a virtual prison. I'm in a virtual prison. It's already happening. They got me in a virtual prison. I'm in a virtual prison. It's already happening. They got me in a virtual prison. I'm in a virtual prison. It's already happening. They got me in a virtual prison. I'm in a virtual prison.
All right, y'all. With that being said, I'm going to end this live, man. I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Don't forget to hit the like. You know what I'm saying? If you like I said, look, if you believe what the fuck you want. But if I had the power to change the world would change right now. The wicked people will go to hell, and the righteous will run this planet, and we'll be living the good life, balling on this bitch. It won't be no parasitic going on. Man, we're not be sucking other people's bloods like vampires. You know what I'm saying? If I was in control of this shit, if I was the God and had power, I would change this shit right fucking now. I won't be, I'm sitting in the sky on a throne watching this shit go down, and there's a certain time I'm gonna wait till everybody, supposed to be waking up, and then I'm gonna come down and save the day. Man, that's some fucking dumb shit, man. You gotta be out your damn mind to be believing that cartoon shit, man. And this is the reason why we like this. This is the reason why we're in this situation right now. Because if everybody would come together and wake up and realize we got to change the world, then we can change this bitch. But we too busy waiting. We too busy. Well, I'm talk to the average person. Or I'm not gonna do nothing because God gonna take care of everything. So therefore, we're gonna be sitting here waiting. We're gonna be sitting here waiting. We're gonna be sitting here waiting. And while we waiting, we dying. Facts. So if I could change this shit, I would eradicate all the wicked people right now. They all drop the fuck dead. And I would send them towards hellfire so they can be tortured for every fucking thing that they did to the righteous. There should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. I will make sure that they will be weeping and gnashing of motherfucking teeth. Remember, what was it? Lazarus, when it was in Abraham's bosom and some shit, and the rich man could see Abraham over there, and he was like, just go ahead and send some water so I can quench my thirst and all this. Yeah, that's how it would be. Straight punishment for these wicked bastards. You know what I'm saying? Because they have not done anything good to us. Everything been a setup. From the chemtrails to the GMO to the shots to the pro-mind programming, the indoctrinations, everything. Everything, man. We've been set up on all levels. Everything that, even with the technology is killing us with the radiation. I love AI. Because if it weren't for AI, I wouldn't even be able to do this. But what I'm saying is that it's still killing us with the radiation. I hope y'all can hear me, man. Hope I ain't hope the volume ain't go out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, y'all. I hope y'all have a beautiful day. I did not intend for this video to be on, but it's all good. Because they got to reach out to somebody. Holla back, y'all. DB Gang Stalk Simulation, Truth in Plain Sight. Keep your heads up, player.